Hi guys, okay, today in the Ground Pounder series we talked about using an M65 field jacket. Let's now talk about another piece of surplus gear, and actually two different ones, and their uses. Now, most of you have seen or are aware of or etc. these great big, what we used to call a woolly pulley sweater. Military issue. Air Force had them, Marines had them, Army had them. They got the epaulets up here. Foreign militaries used it. This is a wool sweater, okay? Now, the common way you see it in the military is it being worn on the outside. This is not the correct way to wear this sweater. The big, thick weave of the wool is designed to trap pockets of warm air. So as it rises off of me, it goes into this, and this adds a depth of chambers for that warm air to congregate in. If you're wearing it on the outside, as you walk, all you're doing is fanning and getting rid of it. So it really gives you not a whole lot of support, really, for these woven type of wool. Now if it's really tight weave where you can hold it up and you can't see light through it, yeah, an exterior sweater like that you can wear. But like this, no, this was designed to be an undergarment, a layer, okay? And these do extremely well for giving you that extra warmth that you need, and they're also soft. Now, let's talk about the proper way to wear these. And I'm wearing another one right now that we're going to talk about. And that other one is the 5-button sweater. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit so you can see just a bit better. So, there's 5 buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes all the way back to the Korean War era and etc. The proper way to wear this piece of gear is like this, with a t-shirt underneath it. You don't put this directly onto your skin because it's going to rub you. It's going to rub your chest, it's going to rub your armpits in movement. So you put a cotton t-shirt, or if it's in cooler conditions, silk long handle, polypro long handle, something like that underneath it. Okay? Now, it's got 5 buttons, so you can button it up all the way, and it has a stand-up collar that cups around the back of the neck. The woolly pulley does not have that collar, okay, but the 5 button does, and it can come up here and you can button this top button and completely enclose around. Wearing this up underneath that M65 field jacket will add another layer of warmth, because as my body heat passes through the t-shirt and goes into this wool, it's trapped in those pockets a little bit. It gives it a place to stay. Now I need an over cover, and that needs to be some sort of solid material, like in this case I'm wearing a denim shirt that seals it up. Now that needs to be loose as well, so that it traps these pockets of warm air around the body. With the woolly pulley, this is doubly true. So if I take it and then put a simple field shirt over it, and then put the field jacket over that, I'm good down in the 20s, you know, and that's my typical way of doing it. I would put on a t-shirt. I would then put on my layer of polypro long underwear. I would then put on this 5-button wool sweater. I would then put on an overshirt, something roomy and loose, okay? Then I would put that M65 field jacket with a liner on over the top of it. That's what I would be wearing down into the 20s, you know, and below. If I put more liners in that field jacket, I went down further. And as I said in comments, when I was driving a truck, and I worked for a company back in them days that did military contracts, and we were putting military and civilian weather radars and other kinds of radars all over the country. And I was driving, you know, any month of the year I could be anywhere. And so having to go to Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin in the dead of winter, the height of a blizzard, you know, and I've got to drop this off, and I've got stuff on the back of a flatbed 18-wheeler I've got to get out there and tarp in blizzard conditions. That was what I was wearing, was the t-shirt, polypro long underwear, a 5-button or some similar, maybe even the woolly pulley, depending on how cold it was. Then that outer shirt and then the field jacket. Now, all of those layers forced the warmth to come off my body, and it went through the t-shirt. Then it went into the Pulley Pro long underwear, which is tiny holes. That made a thermal barrier that it had to work its way through all of them. When it gets out of that, it goes into the wool sweater, big chambers. When it works its way out of that, it's got a big roomy shirt to trap warm air, and then over the top of that was a field jacket with a liner, and then the field jacket. So it was multiple layers of fluffy layer for the heat to kind of get trapped in, and a sealing layer, we'll call it, that would trap the warmth. And so that was the idea of it. How to stay warm is you need layers. But those layers need to work together. And so why didn't you just put this on and put the woolly on top of it? Because it doesn't really add anything. It's a chamber on a chamber. I want it to be a skin barrier of the underwear, a chamber, the Pulley Pro. I then want another thicker layer, which is the wool. So that slowly comes out and it's trapped in bigger pockets. Now a sealing layer over the top. Now the fluffy liner, then the field jacket. I want them BTUs to have to fight to get away from me. I put a lot of effort into generating this body heat, and I want to keep it close to me as long as possible. And so by using these old 5-button sweaters, by using the field jacket and the woolly pulley, I created that. Now this 5-button sweater, these are normally dirt cheap. They're not in high demand. And I found several of them on a yard sale, and the guy wanted $1 a piece for them. And so I got like 5 or 6 of these. And they work very well for what you're seeing as an inner layer. Wearing it like this as an outer garment is not that effective. It can work like right now where the temperature's in the 60s, light straight, so you can roll the collar down. And it gives you a little bit of warmth when I'm standing still, but once I start moving, airflow happens. So if it's a little cool just standing there, when I get out here and I start working, I warm up, this on the outside works well, because when I stop, it traps a little bit of warmth, and I feel a little warmer than I would feel, see? But at the same time, when I start moving and exercising, as I'm doing this, I'm fanning, and I'm keeping a little, but I lose it too. So I don't overheat as easy. I don't go to sweating as easy. So if I was wearing, let's say, the woolly pulley, and then I started to get active, I pull my outer layer off like that denim to expose it. Now as I walk and I move and I exercise and I'm setting up my camping, etc., I'm also losing some heat. But when I stop and I stand still, I'm trapping a little bit of heat. See, it gives me a very versatile garment. And that's the reason the Army issued them. That's the reason that the Air Force, Marines, all of them, Navy, all of them have one. And a lot of the foreign militaries have one. That's why. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you did, please hit that like button before you go. And leave some questions or comments down there too. Would love to hear from you. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.